It's in every spectrum of business. Every spectrum of business. And the reality of things, there's, I will always be the advocate of the human creating a record, right? At the end of the day, a lot of this, it boils down to a human behind AI creating that type of, even though it's created with AI, I get it, I understand that. There is an intent behind it. And the message of what Dilly's saying on that, I can't help but to understand it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a type of thing that, whether anybody likes it or not, AI is here, bro, and it's gonna stay here. It's not gonna go anywhere. This is a new version of what the internet was, but on crack. And I think that I'm always gonna have that for the independent artists. Would I rather listen? And this is just my personal preference. Do I want to listen to a human artist, or do I want to listen to an AI thing? The reality of it is I listen to it in two different ways. You know what I mean? When I listen to an AI record, I'm listening to more of like from a lyrical standpoint. I can't do a review on a production or a beat because I'm not talking to the person who made the beat per se, right? Whereas when I listen to a human, I can sit there and guide and do that. You can't really do that when it comes to records that are done with AI. Am I against AI? I'm not. Am I pro human making music? Absolutely. And there has to be a definitive thing where people understand the difference between both, that people understand the importance of both, because there's a lot of great things that can come out of on the AI end. It's true. And there's so many different things, whether you create music for your soul. And I think that the concept of what he said on that, like, a lot of people don't have the ability. It's not because they can't sing, but they don't have the ability to get their words out the way they want to. It's almost like poetry. It's almost like writing a book, writing a story. And that's how I relate a lot of people who do like AI records. That's the closest way I can relate it to. And I get it. I understand it. Do I feel more close to a human artist? Absolutely. Like, I'm gonna feel the emotion differently, if that makes sense. And I think there's a very different thing when a human is actually singing, like, it's true, or rapping or whatever, because there's a connection of emotional intelligence behind that you can't get with AI. And even as much as you want to mimic that, you can't. There's a lot of AI records that I heard that fucking are great, bro. Like, are insanely talented sounding, So it is a thin line. It really is. And I think that a lot of people need to kind of understand that, like, what he said on that record, I get it. You know what I mean? So, some people don't. I've had one person say, whether this is a reality or not, I don't know. But I had somebody say they had like a terminal illness and they can't talk, right? So, and then they use that to express themselves. How can you like deny that? Like, how can you say, you know what I mean? Like, they want to be creative. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. But at the same exact time, me partially, I do think that, I think that you have an outlet. If this is your outlet on how to write records, and if you did all the lyrics on that, phenomenal, bro. And that should be your outlet. As long as you have the songwriting on it, I'm okay with it. Now, if everything's just prompted, make its own lyrics and everything else like that, then I don't know. Like, I can't judge that. I can't review that. Whereas if somebody actually writes their own lyrics and puts it in there and it pumps out whatever song it is, I can base it on the lyrics. That's why a lot of art, I can tell when I say that, I just base my reviews on the lyrics side of things. But my heart is always going to be for the human aspect of music. Like, it'll never change that, because there's a certain pain that you feel. There's a certain emotional connection that you get with a real person doing it that you can't get with AI, no matter how crazy the cadence is, no matter how deep mannered it may feel. And I can say that for my sense because I create music too, so I get it. I understand that side of it. And everybody's very opinionated on this, particularly this subject. And again, it's not just music; it's every form of business that's out there. So at the end of the day, I respect the writing aspect of the person creating the AI record that writes the record. But I appreciate the human condition more than anything else. And that's really what I'm always going to be for that. I'm always going to be for the human writing the record. I'm always going to be for the human performing the record, producing the record, because there's a lot of I'll say like this: AI is going to get to the point that it sounds too perfect, bro. And imperfection in things, emotional feelings of things cannot be replicated. As much as it may mimic it, as much as it may sound and deceive a lot of the average listeners that may not know the difference, I know the fucking difference. I've heard tens and thousands of records from independent artists, probably more, so I can hear the difference. And at the end of the day, it is a subject that's very it is very touchy in a lot of different avenues, and it's a hot topic, bro. It really is. Songwriting on that Dilly Hits, I love it, bro. I think the songwriting is dope, and you had a message, you had it, you delivered it. So I got to give you your praise on the songwriting of it. Again, if you guys notice, I never really, I don't say, oh, the beat is dope, I like the high, I can't do that. I just don't feel correct doing that. I don't feel right saying that for whatever reason. But songwriting's there all day. I don't even know what the chat's going on. I'll have to read the chat later because I've been off on my own little fucking hiatus there on that one.